What is the food that make you think, how did humans discover this was edible? There is a fruit in Brazil that needs to be cooked around 7 days, otherwise it's toxic. Day 6, everyone's puking and shitting. Let's try again this time for 7 days and see if we can eat it. When you're already dying of agonizing starvation, poison sounds pretty palatable. That's really interesting. The people who discovered it must have been the most optimistic person on earth. Like, we try it, someone gets poisoned, we cook it. Someone gets poisoned, we cook it 2 hours then. Someone gets poisoned, let's try 3, that's probably enough. Nope, and just keep doing it. Potatoes. Early potatoes were small, hard and poisonous. Methods of making them not poisonous included soaking them in running water for weeks or in the high ends, leaving them out on rocks high in the mountains so they effectively freeze-dried. Alternatively, you could mix them with clay when eating them. The clay would absorb some of the toxins. Our earliest ancestors in Africa likely ate a ton of yams, which were basically hard roots that I believe are also sometimes toxic. People were probably dead set on making their root vegetables where they ended up edible. Eating root vegetables as a staple might be the most ingrained human tradition. Potatoes are honestly a genuine superfood. It's little wonder they took the world by storm once Europeans brought them back from the Americas. You basically just need a bucket of dirt, any kind of dirt, it doesn't matter, and an old potato and you're set. Any kind of climate, it doesn't matter. The shit grows like a weed, and if you keep planting out a portion of each harvest, within half a year or so, you'll have enough on rotation to keep your family fed indefinitely. They are almost nutritionally complete, so you don't even need to supplement them with much to have a healthy diet either. It would have seemed like literal magic to a starving 18th century peasant. Yeah, this is a big deal. Potatoes contain almost all of the nutrition humans need to live, more so than any other single fruit or vegetable. Add salted butter and drink water with some lemon squeezed in and you're good to go. Almost every edible mushroom. Lots of trial and error there, I bet. There are old foragers and there are bold foragers. There are no old and bold foragers. All mushrooms are edible, some just ones. I've heard somewhere that Amanita virosa is actually quite delicious were it not for the horrible deadly poison. Delectable mushroom or deadly poison? 5 minutes later. Prince Zuko, you know that mushroom I was unsure about? The amount of effort you have to go through to make cashews edible. The fuck did someone figure that out? Yes, the shells that surrounded the cashews apparently contains very toxic oils, and the extraction process they need to do can be hazardous to us humans if not handled correctly. The extraction process has to be done manually, hence why the process is difficult and time-consuming. Probably the reason why they are one of the most expensive nuts on the market when I think about it. We have some relatives who have cashew trees, and when I was a kid, my great-grandma would collect the seeds and throw them on embers for a while until the oil in the seeds coat began boiling, then let it cool for a while and then shuck them. Pretty tasty too, since they were roasted. A lot of complicated foods probably started out like this, with just enough work to make them edible, then were followed by thousands of years of slow refinement to make them taste best in a preservable way. Fun fact, unlike most other seeds, the cashew grows outside of the fruit. You grow outside the fruit. Cheese is weird. Hey Og, that milk you were stirring has gone weird and lumpy. Should I throw it out? Nah, it's still good. Pass it here. Rennet, which causes milk to curdle, is naturally present in the stomachs of cows. Some speculate that people may have used stomachs as storage vessels. You put some milk in there, and it curdles. Food is scarce, so you're not about to let it go to waste. Thankfully, the chunky milk actually tastes pretty damn good. Squeeze the moisture out, let it dry, and it keeps for months. Now you still have something to eat in the middle of winter. Jokes on them, I eat it in the summer too. Throw it in a pot, add some broth and some potato. Baby, you've got a stew going. That one actually has a plausible theory around it. You need rennet to make cheese from milk, which occurs in sheep's stomachs. Water skins were made from animal stomachs. Milk was stored in said water skins, and there was enough residual rennet left to make curds. Someone was desperate, hungry enough to try to eat the solidified milk in their sheep's stomach. From there, it's just refining the process over the generations until you get modern cheese making. Fugu, let's eat this fish. Dies. Okay, he died. Let me try eating this other part of the fish. Dies. Okay, how about I eat only this part of the fish? Not too bad. I came here to say this. Like, just how? Did someone get lucky the first time eating one? Maybe all shared one fish and only one woke up next day. Might be the most plausible answer. My best guess is that people figure out about the poison bit fast. With how much people love killing people, I wouldn't be surprised. Then they learn how to remove it as efficiently as possible, and then figured why not to cook the actual fish part left over. An assassin not wanting the whole fish to go to waste. One of the first staple foods is kinda weird, acorns. Acorns were actually farmed very early in human history, but to make them edible, you have to soak them and treat them. Sure, you see animals eat them all the time, but animals also eat tree bark and leaves. Somehow people figure out that you could turn the inside of acorns into flour and basically eradicate hunger by simply picking up acorns for a couple of days. Maize, corn, is kinda crazy too. Researchers found the plant it was bred from. It's called teosinte, and it's more like a weedy grass, with barley and seeds to eat. Indigenous people bred it for thousands of years to make maize. And then they discovered that to make it more nutritious, they needed to nixtamalize it with lime water and lye, made from ashes and limestone. When many Europeans started eating maize as their staple diet, they often got severe malnutrition because they didn't learn the nixtamalization part. Yeah, lots of food we didn't discover they were edible. We've made it edible by genetic selection and complex preparation methods. Mesoamerican contributions, corn and chocolate is genius. P.S. We've also evolved our own bodies to adapt to certain foods, lactose for example, which really begs the question, what delicious nutritious food are we missing because we haven't discovered it yet? Let the trial and error commence. I'm gonna eat this table leg. Dude, you don't just eat it. Haven't you learned anything from this thread? You gotta collect teeny pieces of the table leg, dry them out, smash them into a powder, get them wet again, but remember not to wet, and then put the whole thing over a fire. Thank you for watching, see you next video.